I'm mind blown thinking that there's this woman in her, like, late 20s, early 30s who's just here as part of it, and this is all happening. And in the course of reading it, I discovered reading into the primary sources about this, I discovered that it took them 207 days to sail all the way around the Horn to California. Of that, 50 days was spent just trying to get around Cape Horn. So they're in, like, the roaring 40s, they're in the most dangerous oceans on the planet. Hard, frigid cold, upwind sailing with a ship full of trains. And I'm just reading this and I'm mind blown thinking that there's this woman in her, like, late 20s, early 30s who's just here as part of it, and this is all happening. Edward owned a percentage of the ship as the captain, but the most of the ship was the proceeds of the voyage were owned by a syndicate. So they're halfway across the Pacific and Edward dies. And then Hannah is left in charge of the ship. And shortly thereafter, they start to run out of fresh water. And Hannah puts down a mutiny of all the crew and the passengers on the ship with just a pistol, staying at the helm of this giant clipper ship all day and all night, hanging a distress flag off of her backstay and waiting to be redeemed by someone from North America. And then Hannah sues for Edward's percentage of the ship, takes the money, goes back to Beverly, Massachusetts, buys a house, marries a dentist, and lives quietly until she dies in 1910.